Want to stay safe online and save big? Get up to 76% off a 2-year NordVPN plan, plus 4 months free and up to a $50 Amazon gift card. Just scan the QR code or click the link in the description and it's all yours.
It's me again, Stephen Fothery here. I promise we are about to find Sean and put him back to work, but I have one more piece of big Trek news to share from San Diego Comic-Con. We finally have a release date for Star Trek Con, the audio drama we have been hearing about for years at this point. We also have some really cool casting announcements on that. As you probably remember, major Trek heavyweight talent Nicholas Meyer, who wrote and directed some of the most beloved Trek films, including Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan, often cited as the best movie in the franchise. But Nicholas Meyer cooked up a story for Paramount Plus for a Khan miniseries. Plan was to show genetically engineered Superman Khan Noonien Singh during his exile years on Ceti Alpha 5, set after his TOS introduction episode Space Seed, but before the events of The Wrath of Khan. The story was then converted from a proposed streaming miniseries to a proposed audio drama, which was then seemingly handed off to Trek writers Kirsten Beyer and David Mack. But we recently learned earlier this year that lost actor Naveen Andrews voices Khan in the audio drama, and For All Mankind actor Ren Schmidt voices Khan's love he met on the Enterprise, Lieutenant Marla McGivers. And we know that she will tragically die at some point off-screen before the events of Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan. So, really interesting casting with the two of them. Now, we not only know that the show premieres on Star Trek Day this year, September 8th, marking the 59th anniversary of the original series premiere on NBC back in 1966, but we also now know that George Takei and Tim Russ are both part of the voice cast, and they are playing their famous Trek characters Sulu and Tuvok. I should mention, though, that they will hold the ranks of Captain Sulu and Ensign Tuvok, so it is a very obvious assumption to make to anyone who has watched the Star Trek Voyager episode Flashback that parts of this audio drama will take place on the USS Excelsior around the time of Star Trek VI. The official trailer for Star Trek Con, which was shown at San Diego Comic-Con in the Hall H Star Trek Universe panel and is also now available to the public online, but the trailer lets us hear a sampling of some of the performances. It starts off with just the infamous name Khan being chanted, likely by his devoted followers, also stranded on Ceti Alpha 5, but they're just chanting Khan, Khan, Khan. And we then see some character art, an image of Khan appearing much younger than he looked in Star Trek II, holding what might be some small bug-sized organism in a glowing red vial. At least that's what it looked like to me. Maybe this is Khan discovering the deadly Ceti ill creatures, which we know are responsible for killing his love, Marla, but also become somewhat domesticated by Khan. At least he is able to use them by the time we get to the movie, much to the bane of Chekhov, mind you. We also hear dialogue from a character named Dr. Lear, played by Sonia Cassidy from the TV show Reacher. In the trailer, she is talking to Captain Sulu about logs discovered on Ceti Alpha 5, and she's also talking about attempting to piece together the puzzle of what happened on Ceti Alpha 5. We hear samplings of dialogue from Khan, McGivers, Sulu, and Tuvok, and enough that I think we have the basic idea of the story, at least the framing device that they're going to use. But it is a safe bet that the audio drama will follow Sulu and the crew of the Excelsior investigating Ceti Alpha 5 after the events of the Wrath of Khan, and perhaps finding audio logs that might flash back to the time pre-Wrath of Khan, during which time we know things pretty much suck for Khan and his followers. So the explosion of Ceti Alpha 6 that turns Ceti Alpha 5 into a barren wasteland, the death of MacGyvers, and probably some stuff we currently have no idea about will likely be explored through those log flashbacks. The trailer ends with Naveen Andrews screaming, "I am Khan!" And I'm still trying to make up my mind if I like that line delivery or not. Is it too much? I guess people really like to scream the name Khan, apparently. So why don't you comment and let us know what you think about it? Is it too much? Does it get you hyped for this? I'm curious what people are thinking about this. This is kind of a first for the franchise to do this audio drama like this. I know that they've done one before. I know they did an audio drama with Seven and Raffi called Star Trek Picard No Man's Land, and that actually had Michelle Hurd and Jerry Ryan and a full-on cast, I believe, but it felt like Paramount treated that more like a book or a comic, very beta canon. And this, they're promoting it like it is a Paramount Plus production, and it seems to be really, at least they're trying to really hype it up and gas it up, and like they would if it was a show or like a made-for-streaming movie. So I wonder if the powers that be over at Paramount will ever, comment and maybe say if this is canon or not. They might just never say one way or the other, so who knows, but I'm wondering if they do put out like an official statement saying that this will be canon. I know the old school rules that it has to be on screen to be canon, so I'm just curious what people will consider this going forward. We will be able to listen to Star Trek Con on podcast platforms starting Monday, September 8th, with new episodes coming out every Monday until November 3rd. And before I go, just a little bit more Trek news from San Diego. This is some exciting stuff. The Nacelle Company have revealed the third and fourth waves of Star Trek action figures. So we now know about Wave 3. It is a straight-up classic TOS wave in honor of the 60th anniversary next year. So we're going to have Kirk, Spock, McCoy, Uhura, Sulu, Chekhov, Scotty, Chapel, Rand, and a surprise 2-pack yet to be announced. So I'm curious about that. Is it going to be TOS, Sarek, and Amanda, maybe? Cyrano Jones and the K7 bartender? I don't know. But you should comment and let us know if you have any theories. As for Wave 4, there is a lot more variety. We get Sisko in the DS9 black and gray uniform, Saavik as she appears in Star Treks 3 and 4, played by Robin Curtis, a Sub-Rosa edition of Dr. Crusher that Gates McFadden actually seems happy about online. She was posting about that. Data in his Generation Sailor outfit, David Marcus from Star Trek 2, Picard in his red undershirt when he breaks his little ships in Star Trek First Contact, the Enterprise B captain, John Harriman, Captain Proton Edition, Tom Paris, Chekhov in his Star Trek 4 street clothes, and finally, Mirror Universe Hoshi Sato. So these nacelle figures continue to be a lot of fun. All of these first 4 waves have been great. I love that they go for so many deep cuts, but they're also doing something like Wave 3, which they promised they would, where it is just a collection of, the standard TOS appearances. But I'm really curious to see what they do next. I believe that is finally everything I got for Star Trek news out of this year's San Diego Comic-Con. So thank you so much, wonderful TrekCulture audience, for tolerating me in the absence of Sean and Ellie. But if folks want to hear more of my thoughts, please check out the Text Trek podcast. We stream live on YouTube Friday nights. And like that soon-to-be-released Star Trek Con audio drama, you can find the Text Trek podcast wherever you get your podcasts. So look for me over there. But goodbye for now. Y'all behave. And LLAP.